All right, we're going to move on to a little card game about mutated goats.
Yes.
This is called Gruff. And Matt, tell us more about it.
It was a good game. It was designed by Brent Critchfield, and it's coming out from Studio Woe. Whoa. And man, it was speaking of wanting to win a game from the free to play, this is the one I wanted to win. I mean, starting out though, to go through basic gameplay, it's kind of a Magic style. You've got a line of monsters that are mutated goats. The goats in turn will give your shepherd more weird, which is pretty much mana. And you get cards that go with these goats and stuff like that. And you're just playing its abilities and this and that and trying to break through the lines and ultimately take out the shepherd. We messed up at the beginning with the, we just picked random cards and we found out that was not the way to do this.
Yeah, each Gruff has like 11 cards for it.
15.
15?
Yes.
Yeah, and you only pick 8?
Yes.
And then you get a shepherd, and that shepherd doesn't have to be anything different. I was just adding that in there. You get a shepherd, you get 3 Gruffs. Each Gruff gets 8 of his 15 cards that build your deck. Well, obviously, I'm blind when I was reading the rules very quickly, because all these games we played, we had to read the rules beforehand, or Jason taught us, because he's played pretty much everything in the world, apparently. And so I just shuffled the whole deck and dealt cards out. Now, we did get a lot of the cards for our own guys, but we did get cards from other Gruffs as well. And in the end, that kind of hurt things slightly, because you might have a lot of cards that reference certain mechanisms that your characters don't have, or types of character or Gruffs, like
it would target named Gruffs.
Yeah. Named Gruffs, or it would target like whatever type they are, like a blob or whatever. Right. I don't remember what they're called, but like a flying Gruff or something. But just to finish the rules off, or do you want to finish them?
No, you're good.
Essentially, you got a bunch of cards in your hand. You spend that weird like mana to play cards. You can play as many cards as you want. You don't lose that weird. That's your threshold for each round, basically. And you play cards out there, and you kind of you get one last thing where you assign a tactical action to one of the Gruff, and you're like, I want you to move, and you put them 3 in a row of 3, and they're essentially attacking the Gruff across from them.
Right.
And you can tell them to move. So if you want to swap them out with another Gruff that has high defense, because they're already attacking, or you can say like attack, and the attack action doesn't actually happen until the beginning of your next turn, so your opponent has time to react to it. It's very Pokemon. Like, I know that sounds weird, but I got the feeling of this Pokemon with 3 Pokemon out there.
Right.
So, Eric, what'd you think?
No, I liked it. The theme is pretty wonky, but it's interesting.
Great art.
Yeah. And to its credit, even though we randomized everything and kind of started with random decks, it did at the end still play out, and everybody had a deck that was playable and pretty even. What we ended up doing is, if you got a card that referenced a certain Gruff that you didn't have, you just replace it with another random card.
Yeah, I think we did that too.
Yeah.
So in the end, it worked out. So it was a good game. Yeah.
I think all that did, us doing that, was make the game longer. Which it wasn't that much long. It wasn't like unbearably long, but I think it just would have sped the game up if we had the actual cards with the certain Gruffs and this and that. So
I feel like all we did was not see a lot of the cool combos, but what we did see was still really awesome. And that's a lot of credit to the game. If you could just take the game and randomize everything you get.
Right.
And it still plays out pretty well and fun enough to where the players want to buy it. That's awesome. Now, I will say the rulebook is trash. It is garbage.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but the game is great, but there was so many. First off, there was a rule in there that's not even referenced until you read the example, and it has to have been overlooked. But essentially, about gaining weird each time or whatever. I can't remember exactly what it was. Do you remember?
No.
The Gruff you choose gives the amount of weird it has, gives your shepherd the mana.
That's true. Yeah, that's right. And so, like, at first, I was reading it thinking that what's it called? I can't remember the two. It's 2 different things. Weird and
for which one, the shepherd or
what's on crazy or something? I don't remember. Your shepherd has a score of it, and then each Gruff has a score.
Sorry,
of it.
weird is on the Gruff, crazy is on the shepherd.
Okay, there you go. And so I thought it was all of them combined is your total crazy, total basically mana you get to spend that round. But essentially what it is whatever your shepherd has but each beginning of your turn, basically you pick, or whenever you activate one, you can add it to it or something.
Yes.
Either way, it wasn't in the rules until we read the example, and it was like 2 turns in, and you're like, oh, that, because it did not make sense the way it was playing at first.
Right.
And I was like, there has to be something in here. And the fact that you have to read examples to get rules is very poorly written. And there probably is an updated rule book online or something, or there will be, because I've seen other people, like Tom, I think Vassal and Sam Healy did one of the episodes about it, and they actually talked about that. I watched this after we played it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. It wasn't me. It's this way in the rule book. So.
Right.
Fantastic game, though.
Yeah. And I also like how you can, with your goats, the 4 actions, you can make them grow and pick which part of them you know, if you want them to get beefier on the defense, or give them more weird to give you more mana in return,
or increase their attack.
Yeah, or increase the attack. So I like that part of it too. So
yeah, and the whole game.
Yeah, the whole game. I'm picking this up. I know that.
Yeah. So I guess we didn't really explain the goal, but the goal is to basically kill the opponent's shepherd. But to do that, you have to kill one of the gruffs, and it frees up that spot. And then whenever your gruff attacks and there's no gruff there, it goes on to the shepherd. Mm-hmm. So it's basically kill the leader thing. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Very fun 1-to-1. It would be cool to see like a 2-on-2 method or a type of rule set for multiplayer, but we just played 2 games of 1-on-1, and it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.